Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. I get asked this question all the time. How do you build vocabulary when you're improvising? How do you come up with lines when you're improvising? How do I take these licks that I may have heard or may have practiced and actually build upon them and build my own lines and my own vocabulary? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to take one very simple 2-5-1 lick and create 40 different licks from it. That's right, 40 separate licks that were all based off one simple idea, and you can do this exact same thing with any line that you've either transcribed or learned. Before I get into talking about all these lines and demonstrating them all for you, I made a PDF with every single lick on it, and you can get that for free by clicking the link in the top of the description down below, and I'm also going to put that same link in the pinned comment. So make sure you have that PDF while I'm going through this video, and then you can have it afterwards when you're practicing yourself. The idea of this video is not for you to just learn these 40 licks that I did and then just copy them and use them in your own playing. Rather, it's to go through the process that I went through of taking that first simple idea and expanding on it to create some different sounds. Now you might be thinking, wow, I have to memorize 40 licks in one key and then times 12 keys, that's gonna be crazy. No, the idea here isn't that you're gonna end up using every single lick that you come up with, but it's about going through that process, and that creative process and really experimenting with these different sounds. Eventually you're gonna come across a few that you like, and then from there you can work on those and all the keys and work on implementing them in context in the songs that you're working on. So first I'm gonna play the original lick for you. For everything in this video, I'm going to be using a short 2-5-1 in concert C major. I call a short 2-5-1 where you have the 2 chord for 2 beats, the 5 chord for 2 beats, then the resolution. This is a line I'm sure you've heard before if you've listened to jazz. It's a very simple 2-5-1. It's actually the first 2-5-1 I was ever taught by my teacher, Mr. Bob Gravener, back in high school. Check it out. So it's very straightforward. It outlines the changes well. It goes up each of the 4 chord tones of the D minor chord. It's D, F, A, C, and then it has that C down to B, which is 7 to 3rd motion, then just scales right down, B, A, G, F, and then 7 to 3rd again, F resolving on the 3rd of C major, which is E. Now I'm gonna dive into all 40 licks and exactly how do you take that one sound and build upon it. Well, you'll notice on the PDF for the first 10 licks, numbers 1 through 10, I wrote diatonic with same rhythm. Diatonic meaning in the key of, so in this case we're in the key of C major, so there's going to be no sharps, no flats, and same rhythm. So I'm going to take the exact same rhythm as that original lick. So it's going to be 8 eighth notes and then a whole note for the resolution. Now here's the process for doing these first 10. The parameter or the rules we're setting are diatonic, so we can't go outside the key, no chromaticism, that's not inside C major, and then also use the same rhythm. Also, I want you to be thinking about that original line. Think about the shape of it. Think about where you started, where you ended up, and use that as a guide. And then from there, just experiment with different notes. You're not gonna love every single lick that you create. You're not gonna love every single lick that I created for this. You can actually take this same first original lick and create your own 40 that might be completely different from my 40. But here are the first 10 that I created just using different notes within C major, but the exact same rhythm. One more thing before I play these first 10 for you. There's no like building up of level of difficulty or anything like that. I just tried to do random different ideas that used those notes and those rhythms. By putting on those 2 parameters of notes and rhythms for this, it kind of handcuffs you a bit. So just try some different things. I was thinking of the shape. You'll see I kind of twisted it around a little bit. I inverted it. I did this, I did that. But all of them have the same rhythm and all use the notes of C major. So here are licks number 1 through 10. All right, what'd you think of those? So I'm sure you could still hear that original lick when I was playing most of them. For a lot of them, I used the first 4 notes being the same, and then I kind of altered the notes based off of the original lick for the 5 chord, but then sometimes I would invert it. I would keep those intervals. Sometimes I did stepwise. I just tried some different ideas that still kept the same notes of C major and the same rhythm as the original lick. If you look on the second page of the PDF, you'll see licks number 11 through 20. And you'll see that I wrote they are diatonic, but with different rhythm. So note-wise, we're still staying in C major. So no sharps, no flats, but I am gonna be changing the rhythm here. Because that first line is pretty simple and straightforward, and if you're working through this, I recommend starting with something that's pretty simple and straightforward as well. You'll notice that here on page 2 with these 11 through 20 licks, I didn't really go crazy with the rhythms. I didn't have 16th notes, didn't have like quintuplets and all this different stuff. I really kept it to just like eighth notes, eighth note triplets, and then put some rests in there. So here are the licks 11 through 20. One thing I want you to really notice here when you hear these is that sometimes I put a rest on beat 1. That's a really powerful thing when creating lines because so many people like to start on beat 1, end on beat 1, like the first 10. But as soon as you put a rest on beat 1, you start on an upbeat or start on beat 2, now it displaces the beat a bit. And you're gonna have to kind of figure out where that resolution is, but it gives it a different feel to the phrasing, different feel to the rhythms, and I love starting phrases that are not right on the downbeat of beat 1, so definitely try that out yourself. All right, so if you jump over to the third page of the PDF, you will see licks number 21 through 30. And you'll see that I wrote on the top, non-diatonic, altering the 9th on the 5/7 chord with same rhythm. So I'm still not going crazy on this one and just playing any notes and any of the 12 notes and doing all substitutions and wild stuff. I'm really only altering that 9th of the 5/7 chord. 5/7 chord in this case being G7, the 9th is A. So I'm either gonna be flatting the 9th to get A flat or sharping that 9th to get A sharp. And sometimes I write it B flat just to make it a little cleaner to read. So check these licks out. All right, so what do you think of these? Because they're the same rhythm as the original one, just 8 eighth notes and a resolution whole note, they still kind of have the same feeling as the original one. The only difference is, like I explained, the 9th is slightly altered. Why did I alter the 9th? Well, if you're gonna go away from diatonic playing, especially through 2-5-1s, and you wanna add some more harmonic tension and some color into your playing, altering that 9th over the 5 chord is gonna be your best bet to get started. It's only a little bit, it's only a slight change, but it really gives some more color, some more tension to the line, and gives a nice resolution when you get to the 1 chord. All right, if you jump over to page 4 of the PDF, you'll see the final 10 licks numbers 31 through 40. And for these, as you see, they're gonna be non-diatonic, so I'm gonna be altering that 9th over the G7 again, but I'm also going to be changing the rhythm. Now with this, once again, I'm not going crazy with 16th notes and all this stuff, and I'm also not going crazy with the harmonic alteration, just altering the 9th. And I want you to check out what these sound like. All right, so what'd you think of those? Pretty cool, huh? I want you to go back and look or listen to licks number 11 through 20 and compare them to 31 to 40 and see what you see there. I think it'll be pretty interesting for you. I highly, highly recommend this process to you if you're having trouble building your vocabulary or you're playing the same lines over and over and over again. What this is gonna do is give you a starting point, and you could take any lick that you've learned. You could take one of these, you could take something you heard, something you transcribed, something that you found in a book, whatever, but then go through this process. Put a slight amount of restriction on yourself, the rhythms, the notes, and go through and see how many licks you can write out. You don't have to do 40, but maybe you can. Maybe do more than 40. The idea is the process of going through it and just saying, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this. Write them down so you have it all in front of you. Then when you go back and play them, see which ones you like. I recommend recording yourself because sometimes trying to listen while you're playing can be pretty tough. But if you record them, just like I did, go back and listen, see which ones you like. Then, if you like a few or a bunch or only one or two, then you can explore those maybe in all 12 keys or even alter that one a little bit further. The idea is that all these lines have to come from somewhere. This line came from somewhere. All these alterations came from somewhere. We're not just randomly playing notes in any random order and just hoping it sounds a certain way. We're taking certain parameters, certain rhythms, certain notes, and we're trying to create different sounds based on what we like. So the only way we're gonna know what we like is to try a whole bunch of different stuff and see if we like it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you try this process out, and if you do, please let me know how it goes for you in the comments below. Also, if you didn't do it yet, please don't forget to download the free PDF worksheet that goes along with this video. It has all of those licks on there for you, completely free, that you can just have for whenever you want. And you can see my process going through the entire thing. My goal as an educator is to help you. I want to get you better at music, and I want to make it a little simpler for you because there's so much conflicting information out there. And I hope my videos are helping to simplify all that and help you get better at whatever instrument you're playing. Thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.